We're just like outside
No, let's relax. He's coming outside. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this.
the right one.
Who's doing the who's doing the whole ceremony?
Well, there's only 2 minutes until the point. Prepare a bit for it.
Sure, I might go doing the
Alright, then I'll probably look at the little ones that I do.
I'll put it in.
I have my old laptop.
Actually, I'm gonna start exactly like this with it, and then I'm gonna move on.
I'm sure we can all go about it ourselves anyway.
No, I'm talking about like as soon as the stream starts, I say something because I have something in mind.
All right, and okay,
Hang on. I'm just gonna.
if there's let us know if the chat says anything interesting.
I'm keeping an eye on it. I've
Got
got
it.
it open.
I
Awesome.
have my second laptop open right now. Oh, you can't see it. That's part of the background, right? Right
No,
next.
you
to,
mean your operations console?
Yes, of course. I have my old laptop that I replaced next to me, with I can have the chat going in.
Yeah. No, I've got my other monitor working on something specific.
I
Already.
just have one computer and like 17 tabs open for various reasons.
I have a bunch of tabs open as well.
I just
I've got
closed
my
it.
Google Docs.
I've got.
my like.
Sorry.
Oh, I can also use my. If I
I've got the blog, and I've got the blog.
No, oh well, that's useful.
I have the blog as well.
I also have the vlog. Wow.
I don't, so y'all have fun with that.
Boo.
And
Boo,
I have
no.
a piece, and I have something extra. I'll probably share in the chat to see if you guys can put it up.
You know they can hear us, right, Sherm? I am being told by chat that they can
Yeah.
hear us.
I'll have something to share.
Everyone,
Everyone shut
The show is just beginning. Worldwide premiere.
Fair enough. Hi. Hi, everybody. I think people can hear us right now and people can see us. Hello. My name is Saul. You might have seen me around, or maybe you haven't. You might have heard this voice, though. And I would like to introduce you to the Fan Battle cast. There are some very special guests here today, not just myself. How about we all go around and introduce ourselves? Who wants to start? I'll put you all on the spot.
You know what? I'll start. Hello there. My name is Violet. If you know me, no, you don't. You've never seen me before. No, I don't exist. Don't worry about it. All right, Noah, your turn.
Hello, my name is Noah Green. I am the creator of Fan Battle, that you may be familiar with. I am a jury member here. I'm glad to be here, and I looking forward to this stream. Also, chat says we were a bit quiet.
Yeah, they said they're better now.
Okay, cool.
Hello.
Mal?
Sure, I'll start. Hello, my name is Mal. I'm actually the person who pitched this matchup to the Death Battle Kickstarter for the pitch matchup Gold Requiem tier. And honestly, this is one of my favorite matchups that I've ever researched and looked into, and I can't wait to go into detail regarding it.
And
And
hello, YouTube. Morcus Moriser here. I am the one who worked with Mel on a lot of the research, and meaning I'm technically the only person to have ever researched Star Trek for a Death Battle related blog. I don't know how that's possible to this day. Also, I have your captain. I am holding him captive outside the ship. I can do anything to him like this.
No.
And then
Wait, why do I care? That's not Mike. That's not the Doctor. Why should I care? I have never watched.
That's not
Star
John
Trek.
Luke.
So
don't
are you
care.
like out my left window?
oh god, he fell into the waste bin.
Okay. And I guess I should
Captain
also
is dead.
I guess I should also introduce myself because I just went, oh, you might know me, you probably don't. My name's Saul. I run the Saul versus blog. I also run a versus show called Doomsday Duel. Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. With today, we are covering a impressive matchup in terms of both content and scale and whatever you want to do. Q
Definitely.
from Star Trek, Mon Capitan versus the Toymaker from Doctor Who. Everyone's favorite game-playing psychopath.
Oh, to answer your question, stories of Satyr. No, he doesn't, unless I'm losing.
Perfect way to debate.
Perfect way. Genuinely.
Okay. I'm assuming we are all good to start with our 60 seconds, are we? Is everybody
Yeah.
happy?
All right.
Yes.
Who would want to start, Violet? Would you want to, or would you want me to start? Oh, yes, wait, also the
Oh.
debating.
Well, this is called Q versus the Toymaker, so I guess you should start.
Okay. I don't know when the time has started. I'm going to need like a visual audio cue.
All right. Does everybody count on their hands? 1, 2, 3,
Wait.
4, 3, 2, 4, 1. Wait.
I guess I should just start.
Hello?
Ah!
Oh God!
Okay. 5, 4,
Bye.
3, 2, 1. So, guys, have you ever seen My Little Pony before? There's this character called Discord. If you know of him, you probably know of Q. They're the same voice actor and the same character, but Q is very different to his pony counterpart. Well, not in the ways of reality warping, but because Q can do whatever he wants, and I mean generally whatever this man wants. He can manipulate reality, remove you from existence. He turned someone into a dog one time. That wasn't really nice of him. He's got telepathy, omniscience. There's so many abilities that Q can do, and he's dead smart, smarter than you would actually think for a guy as silly as he is. I mean, he appears as a mariachi band playing as much as he wants. In terms of this debate, I think that the Toymaker is going to have a lot of trouble against someone equal to his power. He's usually fighting someone like the Doctor, who doesn't actually have any reality warping powers of himself, unless you're going into certain media. Yeah, that's crazy. The Q himself is going to be able to take this debate and exploit the major weaknesses of the Toymaker. Because even though he is a god in the Doctor Who universe, he is majorly flawed. Thank you very much.
All right.
Great.
Take the
So
I have like a little script. I structured mine very differently to how you're structured yours.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I'm assuming you're just going to have the same thing as me for when I started talking.
Okay. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm sure you believe universe is a balance of order and chaos. But no, there's also games. And no one encapsulates this more than the Toymaker. Not much is known about the Toymaker's past, but what we do know is that he's a reality warper in every sense of the word. He's pretty much just plays with reality like silly putty. He can create pocket dimensions on a whim, transmute you into just about anything, and once effectively mind controlled the entire planet with just a giggle. He's toyed with supernovas, turned galaxies into spinning tops, gambled with God and made him a jack-in-the-box, jigsawed the Doctor's history, and took the Master and sealed him in his gold tooth. All this because what the Toymaker loves most is the games, which beating him in is effectively the only way that you can defeat him. So, if you wish to spice up your life with the Toymaker, to be truly free, all you need is positivity.
And there's the other shot I gotta take.
Oh, yeah, take a shot whenever we make a reference to something within these
Like
characters.
yeah, basically my whole take a shot thing is whenever someone mentions Discord for Q or someone actively quotes the giggle.
You're gonna pass out by the time I'm done with this.
It's okay. I've got tea, not Earl Grey, but hot. So hot it burned my leg before we started shooting.
Yeah,
I talked about Discord for Q before stream even started, so
yeah, I thought
you're down one.
I thought I had to kind of fit that into my introduction because obviously they're voiced by the same person
Yeah.
and this
Good opening, I approve.
Yeah.
yeah. I kind of knew, since I knew you would be here, I think you would appreciate the red one.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. I mean, and yeah, this whole being the live action build cord, it will not shake the allegations.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
live action build cord.
It will not shake the allegations.
Oh, it is,
will
isn't
own
it?
it.
Yeah, no,
But it's,
it is.
but it's not the same. It's not the same thing, but it's
Oh yeah, if
It's
you see
very
to the
close.
side, I have chat open on a different laptop over here, so that's why I'm looking to the side sometimes.
Yeah, I've got it on my phone, which I don't have my camera on for, so I can just look down secretly.
Mhm.
And you'll never know when I'm watching what you're saying. Anyway, how would you guys want us to start as the three judges, the three stooges, even?
Well, in terms of like the Toymaker, I would say it's important to establish that we're basically fully compositing him. Essentially, we're using all the Toymaker appearances from Doctor Who, including Big Finish, short stories, the reboot Doctor Who, aka like Ninth Doctor onwards, as well as the classic, which is
Shouldn't
first
I be
Doctor
saying
all the way
this?
to the eighth.
Shouldn't I be saying this?
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's because someone's
but yeah,
Yeah, we're here to more so affirm if something is true or not, or go. Actually, it's even sillier.
Yeah.
They're all fact checkers.
Why don't we
There
just
are
start
fact
with?
checkers. And
Why-
I'm gonna
I'm sorry.
using you a lot.
Mhm.
All right.
Why don't we just start with like what can they actually? What do they do? What do these characters do?
Okay.
Well,
Would you want to go first, Violet?
yeah, sure. Essentially, the Celestial Toymaker's power set includes, but is not limited to, yes. He can do pretty much anything. He has omniscience. He's created pocket dimensions. He has this thing called Imagine. I have no clue how to pronounce that. It can transmute raw light into matter and create duplicates of people. He is, of course, he's a Doctor Who villain, so naturally he has timey-wimey rubbish. He's manipulated time a whole lot, mainly scrambling the Doctor's. Like, if you thought that was just like a one-off line in the giggle, no. He essentially just jigsawed the Doctor's history and made it just all sorts of whacked, which is impressive given the fact that the Doctor is a Time Lord, which governs time. Yeah, there's really only one way you can really beat Toymaker, and that's through his greatest weakness and his biggest advantage, his games. If you challenge the Celestial Toymaker to a game, he is forced to play it. Terms of the game can be discussed beforehand, but once the game starts, he cannot do anything outside of the game until it ends. These games can range from just about anything from a simple game of catch to a game of cards to maybe hide and seek or something else. Or maybe, Sherm, if you would pull up 4D chess real quick. If you wish, please.
Do we even have that?
Oh, yeah, hold on. Yeah, here's him playing 4-dimensional chess. Yeah, he may be a silly goober, but he is shockingly smart, and he transcends dimensions all the damn time. Get ready to pull up more. Pull up 5D Vortex for me real quick, Sherm.
My favorite game, 5D Vortex, a classic.
I remember playing on the
I'm
PS1.
done talking about games. This is like actual feats. So this describes the time vortex as being 5th dimensional. It's a 5th dimensional whatever. Lastly for now, liquidification, if you will. So the Toymaker once liquefied and absorbed the TARDIS. Now what the TARDIS does is that he essentially it essentially just manipulates the time vortex itself. It controls the time vortex. And the Toymaker has also absorbed the time vortex itself before. So this level of 5D whatever the fuck is pretty consistent.
Absolutely.
That's all I have for now. You mustn't overplay your hand.
Can I ask maybe a stupid question?
Go on.
No stupid questions here.
Only stupid answers.
If,
Yeah.
if you challenge him to a game and he has to accept, and the terms of the game can be whatever, could you just be like, let's play a game, who can kill the Toymaker the best, and then he just explodes?
No.
I believe it has to be like an actual game to some extent.
Okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And they
Actual
can discuss,
criteria,
like, the
yeah.
terms
Gotcha,
of the, They
gotcha.
can discuss like the terms of the games beforehand, and also a little bone. And he can't cheat during the games, unless
Someone-
you cheat, and then he'll start cheating. And
Okay.
you really do not want to start him cheating.
Someone in chat says the Toymaker is about to main Iron Fist and Marvel Rivals.
He would. He would.
No. Toymaker would go
Well,
Jeff.
He
I hate
probably.
Jeff. I want Jeff dead. I need that chunk's head on my wall.
He's the type of person to use his ult on his entire team and then go off the map with them.
Yeah.
yeah. Toymaker is the kind of person to do that. He is.
Mhm.
He's definitely unhinged, but like he, in some like almost messed up way, he has his kind of like strict rules and codes. Like he does not, unless he's absolutely forced to, he does not like breaking any, the rules set forth by the game unless like prompted by someone else. And then if that opponent loses, then they get punished severely, like even more so than someone who actually legit lost his game.
Mhm.
Like he hates cheaters with a passion. Like he would despise anyone who tried to manipulate his rules.
Yeah, he
100%.
really does not like cheating.
Yeah, we have a poll going in chat on if Toymaker would main Jeff or Iron Fist. So make sure to vote in that.
Yeah, make sure this is the most important. Look, I know we're gonna have like a poll at the end of vote who would win, but that doesn't matter compared to who the Toymaker
I am
would win.
jumping the whole team and taking them off the cliff. I believe that is called a pentakill.
No, just someone screaming down the mic. No, Toymaker, that's your team. That's us.
Well, that's all right then.
Well, that's all right then.
There you go. That's Q.
Take that, you stupid babbies.
Okay, I guess I should start talking about Q.
Yeah, go on.
Let's talk about what Q can do. Yes, No, I'm kidding. I can't just steal the Toymaker's lines. But Q can do many of the same things that the Toymaker can do. Whether it's teleporting from place to place to be able to annoy people, even teleporting into a sleeping John Luke's bed to wake up in one of the funniest moments ever. He's able to create multiple versions of himself, go through walls like there's no limits, shapeshift himself into different appearances and different costumes, which is something he really likes to do. He can manipulate technology, mess with gravity, timey-wimey stuff. That's nothing for Q. He can manipulate time in so many different ways. I'm not even kidding. He has omniscience, so he has knowledge of everything. And he's able to mind read people to know what they're thinking. He knows what you're thinking right now, actually. He is can create entire realities with entire living beings and also just environments as well that you can walk around in. From a room full of puppies to the ideal mate, which is okay, Q, whatever you're into. He can take you out of existence, something that he's actually done accidentally and had to undo, which that's not really nice. He can bring you back from the dead and grant his powers to you. He can manipulate energy, see you yourself, and even seal you away. Well, not himself, but the Q continuum. It's important to establish that Q and the Q continuum should be quite comparable to each other. I think I'm fair in saying. Mal and Morgan can correct me on this. It's very handy having them here because I think they are very comparable, at least in powers.
Yeah. I feel like anything one can do, the other can also do. Like pretty much everything that you said, I'm like, oh yeah, Toymaker can do like
Yeah.
at least something similar to that.
Yeah. What's important to establish with this matchup is that they can do whatever they want to, but
They're full-on cosmic reality warpers. Like,
Yeah, this is.
they're both
Sorry.
they're both at like the high, almost like not to the like the highest degree of their respective universes, but like they're both pretty much like top. I would say 10 or 15 of the strongest characters in their series.
Possibly
They're
top.
just that powerful. And
but
like,
with
I
their
mean-
with the Toymaker's powers does come a few flaws. Flaws that I believe Q would not only love to exploit, but be able to exploit as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I only really have a couple corrections. As far as the Q continuum being comparable to Q the individual, I mean, the Q as a whole, as a race, are put together more powerful than any individual Q, as mostly seen by the fact of things that one Q cannot do to another Q unless it's like a collective of them.
Hmm.
So
Bridget,
yeah.
I'm sorry, just someone in chat is saying how, Bridget, why do you want to kiss Wiz Death Battle?
Oh, my phone is ringing.
There's a time and a place.
I'll be back.
There's a there's a time and a place.
There's a time and a place, and I can create both, and this is neither. So yeah, and the other correction I would give, first off, you called it omniscience instead of omniscience, which I just find hysterical, and not even that it's technically wrong. He's probably got both, considering this was one of the creations of Gene Roddenberry, and actually, fun fact about Q, he was not originally supposed to be in his own debut. He was actually written in to pad out the runtime to 2 hours.
It's my lovely accent. I sometimes mix words up quite.
Yeah, but also a lot of the times he basically decided to create a lot of god characters on the original series, including ones who would be very much a model for Q. And a lot of the theme that he tried to incorporate into Q is that characters like him and other godlike beings are the eventual result of humanity's evolution. That was tried in the next generation as well. They kind of abandoned it, but it's not impossible that in the farthest reaches of humanity, we might end up having the same powers as a Q, which is amazing.
I also want to say that Toymaker's main has been swept to be Iron Fist. So, no, if it's Jeff. I read it wrong. Toymaker's using his influence on me. Sorry. I have to keep myself put in the reality of the game.
So, well, my current thought is, if I know you mentioned Q having omniscience, that seems like a big advantage in a lot of different games. You could challenge the Toymaker too. And if the Toymaker himself doesn't want to cheat, I don't know if he'd use that.
The Toymaker the Toymaker would probably consider omniscience to be cheating.
Would the
Or at the very
Toymaker would the Toymaker know that Q is omniscient though? Is what I'm asking us so as well.
I mean,
I
yeah.
maybe.
Okay.
I think also one of the things you have to consider, omniscience is kind of like, right, it's not like your typical power, right? It's just something that is a part of Q. He just
Yeah.
knows a bunch of
That's
things.
sort of what I'm
Could it
saying.
be-
Yeah.
The thing is,
Yeah, omnipotence is more of a power.
Yeah, could it be considered cheating if it's just kind of like a part of his biology? Is me
here's the
breathing
thing.
oxygen
Here's
in
the
a...
thing.
Mhm.
Here's the thing. So, the Toymaker, when he was playing his little card game with the Doctor in the Giggle, he did not use his own omniscience. He probably would consider that cheating, and he would know if Q is cheating.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
So it would likely allow him to start cheating, and then it's just a matter of who can telekinetically throw the ball off of the other.
Becomes the normal fight then.
Yeah, there's
Speaking
like
of which, because I'm
yeah.
getting caught up on the game thing, how strong are these characters? Like I know you've already talked about like the 5-dimensional vortex.
That's
for,
nothing. That is nothing compared. That's just like a little tangent that I wanted to go on
Yeah.
to start with.
The answer is
You mustn't
yes.
so much.
Okay.
It's another yes.
If the abilities are yes and their strength is yes, I don't know where we're gonna go from here, chat. I'm gonna be honest.
Aha! I know where we go from here. If you would please let me have the stage. The Toymaker that we see, that is not the real Toymaker. That is not the Toymaker's true form. In reality, the Toymaker is what's known as a guardian. In fact, he is the guardian of dreams and reality. He can manipulate the dreams of everyone in the multiverse. Dream multiverse, please, Sherm, if you would. Dream multiverse, if you would, please. You gotta be prepared. I'm gonna keep you on your toes. So yeah, here's it describing. I had to read a lot of books for this. Here's him describing. Essentially, he controls the dreams of everyone in the multiverse. The entire multiverse is at his fingertips, and let's just say the Doctor Who multiverse is pretty big. Omniverse, if you would. If you would, please, Sherm. Omniverse.
Where's God? Gosh.
Yep. Here the entire multiverse is described as an omniversal spectrum. Now, I know we had this little discussion beforehand. Omniversal doesn't technically mean anything, but in the context that this is being described in, I would say that this is the Doctor Who multiverse is an outerverse. It's as big as like an outerverse would be hypothetically. So yeah. And not only does Toymaker kind of scale to this normally, but his true form is even higher than that. His true form is essentially unkillable to an extent. Like if the Toymaker's physical body is technically mortal. I'm using technicality in mega quotes there. So I don't think even if the Toymaker loses the game, his true form could probably break the Toymaker out of the game, like what he did way back in the first thing. That's how he's there in the Giggle and everything else.
I would.
Can we go back to that image for a second?
I would.
Yeah.
Can we go back to that image for a second, please?
That particular image is, I believe, it's from the comic where the Master is taking control of the Glory, which is controls all of it.
Yeah, the Glory.
I wanted to ask, the thing next to all the binary, is that just like some guy's face?
Yeah, it's my face. Sorry about that, guys. I took a photo and uploaded it.
That guy.
It kind of looks,
Don't worry about it.
It kind of looks like the War Doctor, but no, it's definitely not.
It does kind of. I think it's meant to represent like real life. Like if you noticed, the numbers is meant to represent like binary.
Hang on, if that's Spider-Man?
That's Marvel Comics.
Spider-Man. Wait, that is Spider-Man. What?
Yeah,
that is Spider-Man.
I did not notice that. What?
It's
Maybe it reminds me a lot of the face of Bo, if anything, from Doctor Who.
Yeah, although the face of Bo didn't have facial hair.
I like how the way it's positioned. It looks like I'm saying the speech bubbles.
It's like,
No,
yeah, just
You're,
your
no.
you're talking about the
Well, this is
spectrum.
well,
The
this is well,
universal
this is.
spectrum.
I was gonna say this is Noah scaling for anybody who wants to.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
confirmed.
I actually, um, yeah, there's just kind of one problem, and Mal can back me up on this. Toymaker doesn't scale up to this.
well,
Not saying his like
it's
physical
kind of
body.
tricky because I don't think the Toymaker scales up to the highest degree, like to the point of Omniverse, but
Yeah.
it has been said that the great old ones, the Guardians of Dream, the Guardian of Dream and Reality, scale to each other,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not on the same level of power as the sixfold God, which is basically essentially all the Guardians of the Doctor Who universe combining their power in order to judge someone, because most like the Black Guardian and the White Guardian are also guardians,
Yeah,
but
that's
they
something
obviously
I
do not get along.
probably should have mentioned, but regardless, it is very, very big.
Yeah, no, it's very big. It's just a matter of whether Toymaker's up there. We know the cosmology's there, and we know there's if there is a ceiling, it is the concept of there not physically being a ceiling, and whatever it is, Toymaker's just a bit below that. Bit.
He's like looking
Well,
up.
what's
still
a little
really
bit
freaking
below
significant.
infinity?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit
Infinity.
below infinity, which only makes sense if you're a god.
Yeah. Let's talk about more cosmology, shall we?
Oh
Boo!
boy.
Nobody likes cosmology.
Does
Now,
your cosmology have Spider-Man? I
no.
didn't think
Well,
so.
Well, Star Trek and X-Men did crossover.
Well, I did
Oh
try.
wow, I guess it does have Spider-Man then.
I did try and phone it.
There
Spider-Man,
is
but
a
even
Spider-Man called Cosmic Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I tried to phone
so
Cosmic
yeah,
Spider-Man, but it
it
ended
does
up
have
me.
Spider-Man.
Unfortunately, so this is where my blind spot comes in, because cosmology outside of literal Doctor Who cosmology is not my thing. But from my understanding, there should be at least like infinite universes within Star Trek, which kind of makes sense if you consider how much they just mess with stuff throughout all of the shows. And the Q have repeatedly been stated to a company like the dimensions of the galaxy, which crazy statement, by the way, I must say. I can also start to get into how the Q, just kind of like the Toymaker, the Q doesn't need a body per se. He just takes the appearance of one incredibly handsome-looking man for the sake of the audience, obviously. As for more of the cosmology, Star Trek has string theory I could possibly talk about, but I don't think we want to get into potential string theory arguments of the Q.
Saul, if you want me to explain what that physically is later, I will. You just go ahead with everything else.
Yeah, because I know that, isn't it the subspace?
I'll explain it.
This is why we got the experts on. you could take the wheel.
Yeah. No, I'll explain that. You just move on with your thing because I want to find an image that'll explain it.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing. But yeah, so there should be at least an infinite amount of universes within the universes of Star Trek with higher dimensionalities that the Q and the Q continuum, which includes Q because he is a Q. That's a bit weird to get into as well. He should be pretty high into those dimensionalities as well. He's kind of like the Toymaker again. Sorry to make comparisons to my opponent, where there's like the glass ceiling, and he's just below the glass ceiling of his cosmology. Look it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm willing to say that I feel like if you look at both of their maximum power, I feel like they're just dead even.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
That's
but
the impression I'm getting.
to explain something. Okay, Sherm, mushroom.
What?
You'll see in a second.
Oh, well, now I'm hungry.
Ew,
There will be,
mushroom.
there will be an image coming up. Okay, so basically there's an explanation for the Star Trek multiverse, and while I'm waiting for that thing to come up, I'm going to explain the other side of it. It is basically ever expanding infinite, kind of string theory, kind of also causality, different paths. The whole what if was supposed to be. We see many different versions of that in TNG episode Parallels, where Worf starts by winning a competition. And suddenly he's in 44,000 different realities over the course of that episode. So anyway, welcome
like
to
the time vortex.
Welcome to the other thing. When I said mushroom, I wasn't kidding. This is the mycelial network introduced in Star Trek Discovery. And unfortunately, even despite some recent events, this is canon to the multiverse of Star Trek, where there is this infinite capacity of different realities, all connected by magic space mushrooms, which that guy, Paul Stamets, in the Mirror Universe, was going to chain react, blow up in seconds.
Marquez, I'm supposed to be dating. I'm not debating against Saul, not you.
No,
Why
no,
are
no, I'm just saying.
Am I
also,
getting
this is as much of a
double?
rant
What
as
the hell, man? What the hell?
this is as much of a rant as it is an explanation. So essentially, these are branches that dipped into can do anything from unravel the basic fabric of existence to bring someone back from the dead who falls into it. In fact, there was literally a doctor who got killed, ended up stuffed in the mycelial network due to an accident, and then came back to life. I refer to him as Dr. Mario because he touched a green mushroom and he's back from the dead. That's Dr. Culver.
Is that why you're
But is
wearing
he
a Super
the
Mario suit?
doctor?
No, I had a laundry issue.
I'm gonna clear something up quickly. Kino was asking in chat about like direct feats and the strongest things they've done. The issue with these two characters is the strongest things that they've done. It's weird because they're always interacting with people lower on their scales in their official media, right? So one of the things is like the Toymaker just kind of constantly is interacting with the Doctor. We see it in the Giggle. He's not really doing all that he claims, catching supernovas and corrupting the universe and all that.
Well, he does create an infinite space.
Which both of them do, and both of them create and destroy.
Yeah, they both
universes.
Yeah, the entire universes, like literally snap, because that's the whole Q thing. They both do that on screen, and that is the most visually impressive thing that we typically do see.
It's hard to. It's really hard to be like, oh, here's a feat. They're not your average characters, right? They're not your normal. If you compare it to maybe that little Bill Cipher fella that we talk about a lot. His power is not very visual, is it? It's the same kind of thing to wrap your mind around with Q and the Toymaker.
And the Toymaker is only the second most complicated character that I'm set to debate for.
If I were to pull from all of Star Trek for one thing that Q did that was a little more complicated than that, then that would be All Good Things, where he basically created 3 simultaneous points in time in order to take Picard back and forth through them, with memories of going between all of them, being flung from one point to another, past, present, future. And Q actively did that. Now Q didn't decide to suddenly do that for no reason. But it was clear that the reason that Picard was bumping back between the past, present, and future without any of them affecting the other, except oddly enough, the future was affecting the past. If that's complicated, good, you're paying attention. Basically, Q was responsible for that. There was something specific in that episode he wasn't, but in all other regards he was, and that might be the single most on-screen direct thing we have seen any of them individually do.
Okay. So if it sounds to me like they're both capable of like the same kind of abilities, they both have like infinite levels of power. So it's sounding to me at least like it would come down to who's more creative in using those, who's smarter, who's going to come up with a better plan of attack.
I would also say like weaknesses factor into things because like
that's what I was about to go into.
Yep, Go on.
Because
Let's hear this.
I want to talk about my opponent for a minute, as I love Doctor Who. The Toymaker is one stubborn god. He basically, the important thing that comes down here is to the game. They're not going to be able to kill each other because one's got a true form and the other doesn't really have a body to be able to destroy, right? They both have basically the same amount of abilities. So trying to comprehend which one's able to do to the other, although it's arguable that Q can affect the Toymaker's like human body, but then we get into the true form stuff. But the game is the most important aspect here, which is rather fitting for a Toymaker matchup. It's why I really love this one. The important to note with the Toymaker is that he is very, very flawed. He's an antagonist, right? He's a villain, so he's usually set to fail in stories. He's lost against the First Doctor, the 12th Doctor, and the 14th and the 15th Doctor. He can sometimes be a little bit arrogant. He assumes he wins before the last curtain has drawn. But who's really controlling these puppet strings in this battle? Is it Q? That's correct. Whatever game that they decide to play, Q should have the advantage. Now, we already spoke about the omniscience thing, but there is important to note there is before the game and there is after the game, right? Or in the game. Before the game, no role barred, they can do whatever they want. So, if Q decides to use all of his knowledge and mind reading to find out more about the Toymaker, that's completely legal. He could have all of this knowledge going into the game that the Toymaker can't really deal with. Now, and then obviously Q would know not to cheat, because cheating, like we said, will get you very, very lost. And even though we talked about true forms that could potentially help him out of the game, I have a counter argument, kind of. The Giggle. The Giggle is the most recent appearance of the Toymaker, and he was defeated by, oh, sorry about that, this is what I get for talking for so long, the 14th and the 15th Doctor in a game of catch. If Q was
Well, that's all right then.
Well, it's not going to be all right for him, actually, because
Death to the opposition!
he was trapped and sealed away in a box. And he wasn't, at least from what we know, able to get out, even though someone more powerful than him, someone he feared, Sutek, my favorite Egyptian god, who came back in a very bad finale.
Tell me about it.
Anyway, my entire point is Q is going to have the knowledge to know about the games, know that the Toymaker is going to stay to his word on whatever game they play, and that he shouldn't cheat. And Q, like I said, is a very, very smart individual. He knows how to learn from his issues and problems. He's been a flawed individual. He's made terrible decisions. He put us on trial. What did we do? Well, okay, what did some of us do? At the end, this game's just going to come down to whether Q is going to have the knowledge to be able to do it, and I do believe that Q can exploit the Toymaker's weaknesses.
I have a counter argument.
Bum, bum, bum.
Okay. This is getting into more personality stuff. The Toymaker, yes, he's a very flawed individual. He is very much, definitely the more flawed of the two. I will admit that. But I can compare Q to the Doctor, and that doesn't sound very good on the surface, because, you know, the Doctor defeated Q multiple times. Not Q. Defeated the Toymaker multiple times, right? Well, I'll be honest, I have not seen the first Doctor's way of defeating him, but I am vaguely familiar with it. He's essentially found a loophole in the rules, if I remember correctly. I don't remember anything about the 12th. I am doing very poorly on my point. Going in, the 14th Doctor. During the Giggle, the 14th Doctor had all this time to prepare for the possibility of the Toymaker coming back. He knows pretty much everything about the Toymaker. He is honestly on a very similar level of intelligence to Q. Here is the thing, though. The only time that the Toymaker and the Doctor, to my knowledge, were in a 100% fair game, no little loopholes, no extra teammates. The one time Toymaker won. That little card game that he did after his whole spiel after casually announcing that he sealed away the Master, who is on a similar, if not even greater level than the Doctor in terms of intelligence. It's not like that the Toymaker is not used to dealing with these super intelligent whatevers. So
Yeah, like
I firmly believe that in a game like this, it doesn't really matter how much Q prepares. It's about the rules of the game and what they decide. And who's better at controlling a game than a Toymaker?
to discuss your points, Violet. I will say that in the Toymaker has faced and or equalized beings of similar power and similar intelligence to him. For example, Fenrir, who is another one of the Great Old Ones, who and the two of them entered a multi-dimensional chess game, and they could not beat the other. Like it was a complete stalemate. But the fact is that the Toymaker still match Fenrir's intelligence and his power. That means to me that the Toymaker would know how to deal with someone like Q, since the Toymaker is not an idiot. He would instantly catch on to the fact that Q has reality warping abilities and has powers similar to him.
Exactly.
Just letting you know that the poll has ended in chat, and with 61% of the vote, the Toymaker would mean Jeff. Very
You
important
fool!
information.
This whole time, the Toymaker has been a Loki main.
And then Loki took
Actually-
Jeff's ult.
No.
Yeah, and then he copies Jeff's ult.
Yeah. I think the idea of this battle is that no matter what, it's going to come down to the game. It doesn't matter where we put them in stats because they are both unkillable, right?
We
You're
haven't
not
even talked about speed, but like it's entirely
They're both
irrelevant.
above
Time
relative.
doesn't matter. Speed
Yeah.
is physically
Time
impossible.
doesn't fucking matter to the two.
You're talking
Yeah.
about time and Doctor Who.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time and Doctor Who. Imagine that in the same fucking
Yep. So it's like, I've got a knife. Suddenly, the knife is in you. How fast did it go? I don't know. I willed it there instantly. There is no time here.
Yeah.
Time doesn't fucking exist to these two.
Freaking knife.
And yes, the Toymaker has beaten intelligent foes before.
Yes, and I did bring a knife to a god fight.
Well, that's why you're outside the ship. You had deadly weaponry, okay? We had to send you out. No deadly weaponry in the god fight. That was a completely banned under
More
the rules.
You
kids
can fight in the war room.
This is interesting because it does seem to me, at least, like it comes down almost entirely to just like secondary and tertiary factors. If they're evenly matched in power and abilities and intelligence, that it does come down to just the minor things that add up.
Yeah. So this is an interesting question from Ultima X10. Can either really kill each other? Yes. If one of them loses, okay, I see you pulling that face.
Whoever loses the game loses.
Whoever loses the game is going to be unable to escape whatever fate.
Yeah.
So, like, the
'Cause-
Toymaker was unable to escape.
Can I talk about this for like
Go on,
a
yeah,
quick
go
second?
ahead.
Okay, the reason, because I'm sure some people are like, wouldn't Q just be able to break out of games? Well, first off, they're even, and the Toymaker can't, at least not without millions and millions of billions of years of prep. But the Toymaker has used his games to beat, you know that little ceiling thing? Let's just imagine that those guys are like, broke the ceiling. Let's just say that. I would bring up examples, but we're kind of getting a little short on time. Well, not entirely short on time, but I don't really feel like I didn't get the scans. I just don't have the scans, so I can't bring up examples.
Mhm. Yeah, it's really going to come down to the individual character and the tertiary factors in this match.
Yeah.
And I feel like that out of the two, the Toymaker is more flawed. You can argue that, yes, it's very impressive he beat the Master, but obviously we don't know how he beat the Master. What game did they play? What circumstances led the Master to challenging someone like the Toymaker? We don't know right now, and until we do, it's hard to quantify as like a super amazing intelligence feat. While the card cutting was a relatively fair game, it was also kind of dumb of the Doctor to charge to go to something with such random chance, right?
Yeah.
The ball throwing is a lot more based
think
on
that's
like,
more. I think that's more of a fault of the writers than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, for the sake of fairness, I can mention the times that Q was actually lost in any regard.
Oh, this is why I ejected you.
Oh, please do, Marquez. That.
Yeah. So,
God,
yeah, just for the sake of argument, there are times where Q has lost. Although I will have to mention the context of each one. His second appearance, where Q was basically following the first trial, he was challenged to tempt humanity, especially Riker, to become a Q and accept the powers of the Q, and they punished the Continuum punished him when Riker didn't play along, and it basically came down to him losing was, I wanted humanity to do something without me physically making them. Why won't you do it? And so he was punished for that. Following that, he had his powers removed, and so that's kind of an outlier as far as regarding whether Q can actually have his powers removed, or whether either can just depower the other outside of being the Q. Unclear if Q can remove Toymaker's powers. Clear that Q's powers cannot be removed by Toymaker alone, unless he wins the game.
Yeah.
I don't think power removal is a super factor.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's although as far as whether they can escape it, the reason I made the face is because there was one time that Toymaker did lose a game and escaped, but he escaped from the Doctor, not another god.
Yeah.
And it also was this whole weird thing of being stuffed into a doll, chopped up, eaten, and somehow escaped later.
What? Hang on.
What, trapped in the time chamber?
Why?
Now you can explain that one.
Wait, what?
Why was he chopped up, put in a doll, and eaten?
It was the weird thing done by the Seventh Doctor.
Oh, the Seventh Doctor was...
The Doctor did it? Why?
Look, the Seventh Doctor was a weird time.
Don't worry about it. Don't.
Anyway, there was also that time Q was punched in the face.
Yeah, but it's important to know that.
Hang on. I like how your two examples of Q losing are this one he couldn't tempt people to turn to
and was
the
punished
Q
for it,
and he got punished. And then the other example is, and then he got punched in the face one time.
Yeah, Cisco punched him in the face mostly because he got bravado and didn't expect Cisco to actually punch him. No actual harm, but it's like a humiliation.
The thing is with Q is, imagine reality for him is a ladder. He can climb the ladder as much as he wants, and he can descend the ladder as much as he wants until he hits our reality. So him getting punched in the face is more, he is on our reality plane than this random Star Trek character is now out of there. So
I don't know, if I climb to the bottom of a ladder and someone punches me, it's gonna
I wasn't sure if he said ladder or larder, but it's probably both.
Ladder.
It's both.
Oh yeah, out of vertical punch, perhaps.
No, but Q, he got punched in the face because he basically created that body to get punched because he didn't think that Cisco would actually do it, and Cisco's like,
he underestimated Cisco.
Yeah, don't underestimate Cisco, everybody.
That you take away.
That kind of go against the omniscience thing.
Well, again, he's specifically he's omniscient, kind of like how he didn't know that Riker was going to not play along. Well, again, he wanted to see if it would happen without his control. Therefore, out of personal interest, he couldn't look ahead and cheat because he didn't want to.
I meant not
that's an
expecting the
advantage
punch.
for me. That's an advantage for me.
Potentially.
Toymaker doesn't really do that unless he is under the rules of a game.
Yeah.
If he's not under the rules of a game, or he wins the game, or someone cheats in the game, then he can do pretty much everything at all times.
Yeah.
Q, when talking about personality, it's a very real possibility that he might underestimate the Toymaker, especially with how the Toymaker generally makes himself appear to new people. Like what he did with that one guy, that one shop owner or whatever, the person buying the fucking doll that he then transmuted into the doll.
Or Gaylord Lefebvre, which is a real name from a Doctor Who thing.
Sorry, Gaylord the Fifth?
Gaylord Lefebvre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
France.
If we want to bring
Doctor
up
Who names everybody, that just
that's just the French.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what
me.
Just the French.
Trying to pronounce the body that the Toymakers possess full name. It's shortened to Rallian. It's like
what? Rala
I think I think
Yeah.
also.
Kino has a good question.
Mhm.
Have either been affected by another's reality warping? To my knowledge, with
Oh,
Toymaker, no, but
kind. Toymaker's like a weird kind of, because there was that one example of the Doctor in the toy room, right?
Yeah, and even
yeah, you're right. But that's
yeah,
not
and Q
really.
by lots and lots of other Q as opposed to
Yeah.
any one of them. Again, the continuum can depower him. The continuum can hurt him. And I will also just immediately get rid of the whole idea of Q weapons. People have mentioned that so often. It's like, no, that is just our understanding of the manifestation. As the quote goes,
Can you
and
explain the
I'll get the quote 1 second.
Can you explain the context? If you're on about the toy making the 12th Doctor thing, he kind of messed with the toy room. Not really, but it was on like a very low scale, right? He kind of,
He cheated kind
yeah.
of by having two different versions of himself.
Yeah.
So, it's not really like he's like another reality warper, but
Yeah.
someone can mess with his reality
Yeah.
warping in
Yeah.
the same way that the Q continuum can mess with the Q's reality
Yeah.
warping. I don't think it should be really a factor for this debate.
Yeah, and for Q weapons, the quote I was looking for is, "You'd be surprised what innovative munitions can be created by one immortal being who set his mind on killing another." Basically, in other words, it's not actual weapons, and the fact that it took so much effort to even consider these things killing another Q. It's just they can't normally do it. They have to try and get creative to get as close as possible. In fact, it's really unclear how a Q can die without being depowered, such as losing the game. Even when Q supposedly died, it was not even clear that he did.
Actually, can a Q kill another Q, essentially?
We effectively
That's why we're here.
no, but they think so. Or at least they're trying. No, they're trying to, but we haven't seen them do it without depowering en masse. Meaning, if that it was a one-on-one, that wouldn't work.
Since we're kind of running on the hour, shall we give our final arguments?
And
I
get
have one.
the
I have.
Poland
Oh yeah,
chat
oh yeah,
out.
the
I have
game.
one last card I would like to play.
Mhm.
So, I am not knowledgeable on Star Trek. What I am knowledgeable on is that Q is a big philosophy guy. He's big into. He knows about logic. He, to my knowledge, he doesn't consider it himself to be above any of that.
He does.
The Toymaker does. The Toymaker does not care about anything. He is above all, and only thing that really stops him is his games. That's my final. That's like my final point. I'm out of cards.
Yeah. Q expressly does say he's above it all, and he kind of calls the immortal stuff cute.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say the card was a good card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm out of.
Let's give a final rundown of how I think this debate is going to go. Okay, so they both should be equal in stats, so that's not a debate in this one, especially because they're layers of immortality. If Q can hurt the Toymaker's true form is a bit that's kind of my take on it. That's not really, it's a bit crazy. Let's just talk about, like I said, the game. I just want to wrap this up a little. Q has looked down on mortals before. We've had examples. But he is a character of growth and learning and love if you look too far into the Star Trek fandom. But the Toymaker is a very flawed individual. Q will know the games, right? Because omni knowledge, whatever, blah, 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 blah. He will know what games he would want to play, what games would benefit him. What we have to remember is that the Toymaker is not really going to have control over their final game. What he wants to play is up to him. Maybe it will be interdimensional hopscotch. Maybe it will be jump roping into eternity. Or maybe it will be something he can do with a snap of his fingers. Thank you, everybody.
Or maybe it will be Rivals where someone's meaning Jeff!
Who would Q play? Hang on, we didn't decide on who Q would play.
Oh, no, Q would play Loki. Because he would play Loki partially because it's trollish and partially because it means when he controls other characters, he already knows what to do, and he likes humiliating people with their own flaws.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me of this really funny thing that I'm a Loki main. What I did was that an Iron Man did the whole maximum pulse thing, missed my entire team, Then I used it on him and one of his teammates.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shall we hear from our?
Jarvis, clip that.
Shall we hear from our 3 judges? The one inside the spaceship, the one outside the spaceship, and Mal, who has transcended reality.
The holodeck.
How terrifying!
He's in the
Is anyone
holodeck.
gonna
It is
get
50-50.
Marquez back in here? He's been floating in the vacuum of space for
No,
like an hour now.
no, look. If Marcus can breathe for that long, he can hold his breath for a few more minutes.
He can live. He's fine. He's
Yeah.
No, the way it removes your background, I just saw the figure like phase into existence and then fade away.
Oh my god. Okay, should we start with? I think we should start with Noah because Noah is completely the. You don't know anything. You knew nothing coming in, and now you know everything.
I knew a little. I knew a little bit coming in, but I think my take on it is both of them speed's irrelevant. The power is irrelevant because it's on the same tier. They can do all the same things the other can. But I think when it comes down to their limitations, I do think the Toymaker has more restrictions that can be exploited, and I think Q's omniscience would let him work around the Toymaker's faults and utilize them pretty well. So I think I'm going to go with Q here. And chat, I regret to inform you, but you have just lost the game.
No. Okay, can we throw Noah out the airship and bring Marcus back in?
No!
No, actually, I'd like Mal to go before me. I've got something I want to say
yes.
for last.
Mal. Sorry, Mal, you've been put
This
on
is
the
a very tricky matchup at the end of the day. Both can pretty much do it, can warp reality, warp time, space, etc., etc. But I do have to side slightly with Q on this one, mostly because I think Toymaker has a couple more exploitable weaknesses, and there have been in prose such as the Magic Mousetrap, there has been, as well as like other books, there has been ways described to potentially kill the Toymaker for good. For example, the Doctor devised a whole plan to split the Toymaker's soul into multiple different sections, and each person ate a soul, a portion of the Toymaker, and basically over time he would fade from existence. Didn't work out, but like that's neither here or there. And I do think if the Q can exploit the Toymaker's arrogance and general underestimation of like other people, then he could potentially split the Toymaker's soul and potentially end him for good. But
I don't think
Toymaker has also
Toymaker.
come back from nothingness, so it is a very tricky debate. But overall,
Here's the thing.
Yeah,
I know
I
the
know.
poll just ended and I lost. Whatever. Q has underestimated, to my knowledge, has underestimated higher dimensional beings. Whatever. The Toymaker
True.
hasn't. He hasn't. If he knows,
Oh
if
my
he knows
god,
that
this
he's
is live action Bill Court, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah. All right.
Toymaker gets how I Met Your Mother scaling.
Oh,
I knew you were gonna pull that out.
here's
All right.
Well, that's
All
all
right.
right
All
then.
right.
Oh,
Sherm,
God, I had
Sherm,
my
pull up the
thing
trilogy. Sherm, pull up the trilogy.
Oh no.
it's just really close overall.
No, this is really close.
Yeah.
I want to make one point before my actual conclusion. So we've been so not the content of this. I'm actually going to say we have been compositing, or rather, going through everything for the Toymaker. We have not for Q. We have not for Q, because if we went through this particular trilogy deals with a being who is basically blatantly described as the Glory, and with the same terminology as the Glory, called Zero. I am not joking. The number in this case. And there's also the M continuum, the P continuum, and even another
P
book.
continuum.
Yeah.
The P continuum.
And even a being from the original series called Trelane, who absorbed this heart of, I don't even remember what the full name of it was. He absorbed this device that was basically the Glory and turned him mad, and Picard and Q killed him.
Oh, Picard.
So that is
What exactly is Picard meant to do here?
Picard. No, Q was weakened, turned himself into a sword, because that's the only thing within his power. And Picard used it, stabbed Trelane, he died.
Epic.
So anyway, that's all the stuff we're not including. But without that, you don't need the image anymore. Without that, yeah, basically it just comes down to
Emotional.
the fact that while there are certain things, the sheer list of things that Q cannot do is so freaking small, and the only things he really cannot proceed to do will require him losing the game. Otherwise, there's really nothing that Toymaker can do to him outside of it until he loses the game. To which point, even Q can refuse a challenge from the Toymaker. The other way around is not true, so that places the start of the game in Q's advantage. So I definitely do not believe that more times than not, Toymaker will come out on top of this. So yeah, I think.
Wait, what?
Yeah, more
Is that
times
the
than not.
like you
No, it's that I said that. I used like the negative before I said the negative before I said Toymaker coming out on top. I do not believe Toymaker will come out on top more times than
Okay.
So
I
Q
misheard.
Q
Very,
wins.
very
While there
roundabout
are
way of
plenty of
wording it.
opportunities depending on the games where Q wins, where Q loses, they're not gonna be common. And also that first that illustration I sent you, Sherm, very final thing. This is not a part of the debate. That thing at the chessboard. Yeah.
Well,
Yep. Processing. It's taking a sec. This is just a little button to put
This
on
is
things.
awesome.
It's
Oh, this is cool.
Oh
This-
wait, that's
Yeah!
cool. That's a good one.
This is a piece of artwork done by my friend Alan Peterson for as part of promoting the pitch. He did a wonderful job. I just wanted to show all you guys this and promote the guy. Check him out. Look up his name. He does good stuff. Good friend.
Yeah, those matchups definitely really fucking cool. I don't think it's my preferred for either, but as an alt, this goes so hard. My
Respect.
brain is broken after today.
Yeah.
I am not gonna be able to think about cosmology for a long ass goddamn motherfucking time.
Oh, come on. Don't you need a little cosmology to spice up your life?
Then
God damn it, we're back to this.
People of the world.
I see
Yeah,
you.
this is-
Oh, time.
This is by far my preferred, and this is in my top 5 most wanted matchups of all time. I just want to say thank you for letting me debate this. Q, funny enough, is probably not the character I would have gone for to debate. I would have ended up debating Toymaker because my Doctor Who knowledge is a lot better than my Star Trek. But
You probably should have, because I love Doctor Who. I'm a Whovian and all that jazz, but I am not the most knowledgeable. I needed a blog to help me.
I need it.
You're welcome.
I know. Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
yes, I was going to say big thank you to Amokus and Mal, who have taken time out of their day to come on. And obviously, you guys did the blog, and the blog really helped us here. And you guys have been a pleasure as well. It's really, really glad to have the people associated with pitching the matchup, or even, directly pitching the matchup with you, Mal, on to the directly. So thank you to you two.
It's been an honor.
it was a lot of great fun. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Let me in.
No. Thank you as well, Noah, for also taking the time of your day to come into. We're not really putting you into the deep end, are we? This is only like a little bit.
Wait, no.
Oh no!
Oh, he's
the game.
gone. He's dead.
Oh
Someone
god,
snap my
he's
fingers.
fucking dead.
Someone snap my fingers. Oh no!
Oh!
I revived the wrong one. And also thank you, Violet, as well, for appearing to debate for the Toymaker. Especially, this is definitely an interesting first episode of this, by the way. Might I say? It's just like, yeah, here's all this cosmology. Hope you guys enjoyed.
We definitely started out small for our first episode.
Yeah, this is definitely a small scale matchup.
It's it's grounded. It could literally end in a game of catch.
Yeah.
I guess.
And also, does God want to come in? God in the background? The true God?
God is currently
The one above Q and the Toymaker?
Shit, because I lost all the things that I did. No. Oh, my reality warping everything. No.
Yeah, I just also want to say that, oh my gosh, no! We've lost, no! I just want to say also, just big thank you to Shem for being our guy in the chat, being God, and also, creating this. You only just went and created this idea. You only did the heavy lifting.
Well, thank you. I miss Violet already. I'm gonna bring him back.
Yeah, we need Violet.
Damn it! I should have brought up Spice Girl scaling. You had a good point there, right?
No, mariachi. Get the mariachi.
Yeah. I think
scaling.
I
Now
think
that the
it's
stream is coming to an end, I just wanted to kind of reiterate the mission statement that we wanted to do a cast because we feel that all of the matchups that were pitched clearly had a certain amount of passion behind them that we think they deserve some time in the spotlight. And I'll be honest, before the stream, I wasn't a fan of this matchup. I didn't think like I wanted a more philosophical opponent for Q, but the discussion really convinced me. I think this is probably the coolest idea for both, and I'm super down for it. I wanted to thank you, Mal, for pitching the matchup in the first place, giving it some
Thanks.
more time in the sun, and just kind of helping promote a dope death battle. Thank you for this whole thing, and I hope when we get to future episodes, we can promote other matchups that have equally as amount of passion put behind them. So,
oh yeah.
to all our
I-
audience, thank you for watching, and unless anyone else has any final words, that'll be the end right there.
You guys should constantly check.
Oh, tie.
Fair enough. You guys should constantly check on the channel because I will just say there's a lot of cool things coming up.
Yeah.
With if you think this cast was cool, it's gonna be a lot cooler. And you want to have a loud Welshman in the mic. That's like twice the benefit. Hang on. But also it's just gonna be amazing. I think this idea is great, and I think you're all gonna enjoy. And also, yeah, it's just gonna be great. Yeah. Oh, bye. Okay.
Because this has a bunch of us coming
One thing-
together, this isn't going to be like a consistent every Sunday at 2. This is literally going to be whenever 4 people in our server can be like, I can do it at this day. It could be like, it could be 3 a.m. at Tuesday for all we know. It's
Yeah,
just
that's what I was
whatever's
gonna say.
convenient
It's
for
not-
the people who want to run the game.
That would be quite a thing, yeah.
Yeah, it isn't gonna be like a weekly thing. It's just you might get like 3 days where there are like 3 streams and back-to-back days. We're just going with this.
Yeah.
Originally on Saturday was supposed to be the premiere with Nemesis versus Magician, right?
Yeah, that was the original.
Yeah, that was
intention.
yesterday that got pushed back.
But things change, and this
But
one.
things happen, things change, and now we talked about these guys.
I think we had like a, just a not so complicated premiere.
Oh, it's so incredibly simple.
The simplest, simplest character.
What's funny is that full stop, unironically, I have a more complicated character that I'm debating for this.
Is this the
Oh my
one that
God,
I am
really?
going against you with? I think I might be.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I'm fighting you on that one.
What?
I'm fighting you on that one.
Yes. It
Oh,
is.
boy.
I'm
I'm
my
sure it'll
brain
be a
is gonna
very
fucking
pristine
explode.
matchup when it comes out.
Yeah.
Until then, we'll be ending that stream there. Thank you everyone for watching,
All right.
and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you for coming to the
Bye.
very end of the road.
Thank you.
Bye
Goodbye,
bye.
everyone.